Saturday morning, you wake up and you want, like anyone else, you want waffles or you want pancakes if you're anything like me. So today I'm going to be sharing with you something that might fit your dietary needs or your allergen concerns, because I'm making a waffle recipe that's easy to put together. It's grain-free, so it's already naturally gluten-free. There's no dairy, there's no eggs. And when I say that they're crispy and light and delicious, so if you want this recipe for later to print or to like pin it for later on your Pinterest board, you can go to styleandstewardship.com, but there'll be a direct link in the description below, and then I'll probably link it under the video as well. Let's hop in and make these really easy and delicious waffles. So let's start with some almond flour. I'm using blanched almond flour. You can get this at Sam's Club or Costco, Walmart. You can get it pretty much everywhere. I'm adding that to our mixing bowl. And then next I'm going to go in with some tapioca flour. This is very, very important. That's what's going to help it to bind and be really crispy. Next up, I'm taking some chia seeds, and this is the trick that I've learned. You want to add these to some sort of mill. So you can add these to a blender. I'm using a coffee grinder, or spice grinder would work too. And you're just going to store whatever you have left over in the fridge. Look at the difference in the size. You get this finely milled chia seeds. You can do this in the blender, so keep that in mind. So now we have some extra for another time. I'm adding apple cider vinegar, and I'm having my little helper help me here too. And I'm just adding apple cider vinegar. My little helper is adding in some vanilla bean paste. You can add vanilla extract and some avocado oil. So we're mixing our wet ingredients, and then next up I'm going to preheat our little cast iron waffle maker. Use whatever you have. I'm going to go ahead and add in our chia seed, the milled chia seeds, to our dry ingredients, salt, a little bit of sugar, and then I'm going to add in our grain-free baking powder. You can find this on the blog at styleandstewardship.com, and you can also find it in my pantry, my gluten-free pantry staples videos. I'll link that too. Mix everything together. Add in your liquid ingredients, and then you get just the perfect consistency, kind of like a cake batter. And then you're going to go ahead and to our preheated waffle iron, we're going to go ahead and add in our mixture. And I don't time this. Mine has this my little trick is once the steam is done, it's ready. Or you might have an indicator light on yours that may turn green. You can use that too. And then it's going to be nice and crispy. So look at these beauties. So this is what they look like when they're done, and they're crispy and light and chewy, and oh my goodness, they're so good. So I already started digging in before I filmed this, but breakfast is served and no eggs were needed. So we're going to start with some red skin potatoes, but we're going to take the skin off. So we're going to peel about 8 of these, and these are about medium size. We're going to give everything a peel, but we're going to keep it rustic, so I'm not worried about like the little spots and the little eyes that are on the potato. We're just going to leave that. We'll give them a good rinse, and we're going to chop them in similar size cubes. So this is going to be dependent on how chunky you would like it. I like to do about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch size, just depending. But all of this is going to go in the Instant Pot, and that is really all that you are going to need for this, with the exception of the dressing that we're going to make, which comes together literally within 3 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and peel those up. You could probably use yellow skin potatoes for this as well, but the red skin potatoes just hold up really, really nicely in the Instant Pot without getting mushy. And they also have just a slightly buttery but firm texture that we really, really enjoy for this one in particular. But you could always use whatever potatoes you have on hand. So I'm just going to show you how I cut these up and about the size. You can do this to whatever size you like, and it really is dependent on your preference. So we're just cutting them up in these cube-sized pieces, and we're going to go ahead and get our Instant Pot ready. It's already sitting on the counter, and I'll show you exactly how to put it all together. It's really easy. So there's a 1/2 cup of water in the pot already. So next up, I'm just adding a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna add in just a teaspoon of, these are just chopped onions. I just get this from Costco. You can get it from anywhere. I'm gonna add a half teaspoon of that. You could add a teaspoon or 1 clove of minced garlic if you wanted to do that. So we only have a half cup of water in here because we're not making mashed potatoes. I just want things to kind of steam, but I don't like using the steam function. I'd rather just use the 4-minute function and let it do its thing. So I'm gonna set this for 4 minutes. That's it. Okay, so next up we're going to work on our dressing that we're gonna dress the potatoes with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with 1 teaspoon of sugar. And I'm gonna go in with, I have this rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon. This is gonna dissolve our, and I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes just so this can dissolve our sugar. Sugar is beginning to dissolve. So now everything is dissolved. I'm gonna go in with a teaspoon of parsley, a teaspoon of basil, black pepper, some salt. I'm going to add olive oil. We're gonna go in with 3 tablespoons. It's so good. It's the really simple things that are so good sometimes. Here is our really simple dressing. And then I'm going to add just 1 more ingredient. A tablespoon of just plain yellow mustard. Just a really simple and tasty. And then I always like to give things a little taste test. So I am just giving this a taste. So here is our dressing. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. It's really simple and it's almost refreshing because it's not weighed down. And in the summer, I don't want things that are super heavy. We're already gonna be having this beef that has a good amount of fat in it. So I wanna pair it with something that's a little pared down. So I've been ordering grass-fed and finished beef online lately, and this is the sirloin cap, and it has the fat still intact, and you cut it yourself, and I'm gonna add some seasoning. I'm just going to press our seasonings into the meat and flip it over so I can season the other side. And this is still slightly frozen, which made it very easy to cut through. So you could do any meat that cooks quickly. So this is only going to take about 10 minutes. I'm just adding this to a cast iron pan with some avocado oil. It's going to render some more fat, so I don't have to add a ton. And I'm going to just brown that and sear it on both sides until it's ready. So I've allowed my potatoes to vent and come, let all the steam release from your Instant Pot, follow your manufacturer's directions. And I'm just putting these in a glass dish since they're hot. I don't want to put them in plastic or anything like that. And I am just going to lay them in a shallow dish so that the steam can dissipate. So I'm going to just continue to do that. So we're just going to let the steam come off, and it makes a ton of potatoes. So I'm going to set that aside. Next up, I believe in being efficient in the kitchen. So I have some fresh green beans, which I just get this bag of organic, pre-cut, pre-trimmed, and pre-washed green beans from Sam's Club. You can pick them up from just about any produce section in any grocery store. So I'm just going to chop that up, and since I've only cooked potatoes in this Instant Pot, I see zero reason why I'm not going to just pop these green beans right in there. So I'm going to do the same thing. I like to go ahead and pop the green beans in there. I like to add different things like, sometimes I'll put rosemary in there. Sometimes I'll put just salt and pepper or onion and garlic or whatever herbs you like. Just go ahead and pop those in there along with some salt. And then to flavor these, you can add a little bit of chicken stock, which is a really great idea too. Minimal mess, and just like that, you've got your green beans ready to go. Now let's hop into our warm potato salad. So we are just adding our slightly cooled potatoes that have been cooked in our Instant Pot for 4 minutes, and we allowed the steam to release. We went ahead and made our vinaigrette. I put that at the bottom of this bowl, and all I'm going to do, as you can see, it's still warm. There's not a ton of steam, but it is still warm. But whenever we are doing things like cooking with olive oil, we want to be careful of that, because that's actually not great for you. What happens is olive oil is more of a finishing oil or a dressing type oil. So you want to put that on salads, and you want to dip bread in that and things of that nature, because you don't want those healthy fats to oxidize and become harmful. So things like avocado oil or coconut oil are better at higher temperatures, but things that are more delicate, like your seed oils or your fruit oils from olives in particular, are just a more sensitive oil when it comes to applying heat. We're just mixing in these warm potatoes into this. If you wanted to make this hot, or add it in with the steam, it shouldn't be too hot to impact the olive oil, but just keep that in mind. So, since you're not heating it and cooking with the olive oil, you should be totally fine. And when you cook with it, cook at a low temperature. This warm potato salad with this herb vinaigrette is so good. It makes 8 servings, and it's good for about 4 to 5 days in the fridge. Here's our sirloin, nice and seared. My husband went crazy over this simple potato salad. Not sure why. I mean, it was tasty, but he really loved it. Here is our sirloin cap steak, and we also have those quick and easy Instant Pot green beans. Pull out that Instant Pot, especially during the summer, so you're not heating up your whole house if you can help it. Speaking of hot summer, let's make something light and refreshing and delicious. I have some frozen pineapple chunks that I just have left over. And then we have some organic mango chunks. I went ahead and put a 1/2 cup of water. You could also do a 1/2 cup of coconut water in here to make it a little more hydrating. We're gonna add a little bit of honey, of mango, 1 cup of pineapple. I'm gonna squeeze in the juice of 1/2 of a lime. This just gives it a little tartness that we like. You can skip this part. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop that pulp in there. I just wanted to make sure that there were no seeds. And we're gonna add in some raw honey. Probably gonna add in just a couple tablespoons of it. So mangoes contain antioxidants and vitamin C, and they actually contain a special digestive enzyme that helps with breaking down things like heavier meals. So this is something that is nutrient packed and nutrient dense, and it hits the spot when it comes to just something really delicious and flavorful for the summer. But after we're done blending, this is what it looks like. And when I say it is creamy and delicious, and you get 6 servings out of this. My family went crazy for this. I went crazy for this because mangoes to me are the best fruit I've ever had in my life. So mangoes are amazing for our gut health, our digestion, as well as our immune system. And pineapples are also amazing for our digestion, and they're both packed with antioxidants. They contain things like bromelain as well as quercetin, which is anti-inflammatory. So you are getting electrolytes, you're getting minerals, you are getting magnesium and potassium and manganese. These are just phenomenal for you. Until next time, your life matters, what you do with it matters. So what will you steward well?